Yeah, good morning, Kevin. First of all, we're here at the team facility here in Tuscaloosa, and players are actually just beginning to arrive as they get ready for their week of preparation for Clemson. It's important to note we've got the Tuscaloosa News today, and pulling a card from our friend Sal Palantonio, but you see right here, Exit Lane is the headline above the fold, A1 on the front cover of the Tuscaloosa News, and so certainly this is the big story in this city right now. As you just mentioned, Steve Sarkisian will be taking over as the offensive coordinator a little bit earlier than previously expected. Lane Kiffin has said the same thing as Nick Saban, and that is that this is a mutual parting of ways. That might not be the full story, and we'll get to some of that in just a little bit. But first, let's listen to Lane Kiffin talk about his exit from Alabama.
I was wondering, was I always there? Because you are bouncing to the two jobs. You're interviewing guys at night, calling recruits at night. And I was just talking with Coach, and I had seen Kirby go through, and that was a game we had a month to prepare for, doing both things. And now, we have a little over a week for this game, and Coach and I were just kind of bouncing around and just felt that really, I don't know that for the players that you can do 100%. You try, but then your mind's thinking about, okay, I got to interview this guy later, or here's a list of people, recruits you got to watch at night versus watching extra film for the opponent and stuff that, I just want to win this game. I want to win this game for the players, for the fans. It's been an unbelievable run, and we got to do one more. And so, as we discussed it, just felt Sark and I are so similar. We kind of speak the same language, call games the same way, that he would probably give us the best chance to win because, 100% of his mind all day long is on the game. I'm still going to help in any way that I can, but it's the best thing for the players at this time for Sark to call the game and to lead all of the meetings all week long because, I want these guys to win, and they deserve to have the best.
Now, you heard from Lane Kiffin just there, and perhaps the most telling part of that sound was what he said at the beginning, and that was he just wasn't quite sure at times where he was. He wondered where he was going into the game preparation, and that is kind of the same thing that apparently a lot of people here at Alabama also are feeling as they begin this week. Our own Brett McMurphy caught up with several sources around the program just yesterday, and what he was hearing is the fact that there was some concern that Kiffin was late to team meetings last week going into the preparation for the Peach Bowl. There was concern that he was late leaving an event, a media event where he was speaking, and ended up missing the team bus. There also was concern over what you said earlier, Kevin, about the quote-unquote, we'll call them butt chewings. Of course, you used a different word, but there was concern over that as well among people here. And then, of course, Alabama's offense overall did not show up in the semifinal game. We did see Bo Scarborough rush for 180 yards on those 19 carries, a big part of the reason why they advanced to the national championship game, as well as Alabama's defense. Because of that, it looks like all those factors together combined to make sure this is an early exit for Lane Kiffin.
And Coley, it's not a knock on Washington, but Clemson's a completely different team, familiar with Alabama from a year ago in the national championship. We get that rematch. What gives the Tide hope that Sarkisian will be a good replacement with such a short window of prep time here?
Well, actually, we're going to turn to our friends from AL.com for some help with that. Just last week, as Lane Kiffin was talking to everybody, he spoke specifically to a reporter from AL.com, and he mentioned the one thing that Steve Sarkisian really did with Alabama's offense this year, and that was third down. That he was primarily the third down strategist, coming up with game plans on different scenarios, different yard situations regarding third down. That's obviously a very important part of the game, an important part of getting into the red zone, and then also scoring off of third down. So the fact that they've had some success there, in fact, I will point out, Alabama's third down percentage was better this year than it was last year. Entering the bowl season, Alabama was ranked in the top 21 teams in third down conversion. So they saw some good improvement right there, and if Sarkisian's hands were on top of that, that is a reason for some optimism. Also, Nick Saban did mention all day yesterday in interviews with us here on ESPN that nothing will change as far as the terminology, the verbiage. The entire offense will stay the same. The only difference is the person calling the plays.
All right, we'll see how this plays out in the next 6 days. Coley Harvey with us this morning on SportsCenter AM. Let's go to Jamie now on the other side with Clemson.
Yeah, here's what you need to know, Kevin. Clemson